give the Klint Kubiak higher or letter grade?
A+.
A+?
Whoever got Klint was gonna get the A+, man. It's time for him to shine, man. This is a football bloodline guy. We know his dad, Gary Kubiak. He played and coached under Mike Shanahan. So he know the original Shanahan system like the back of his hand. Now that's your dad, right? You getting into coaching. You don't think he with his dad learning that shit?
Yeah.
He learning that shit. And then he had a chance to coach under his dad in Denver, in Minnesota. So he's learning that real OG Shanahan system. Then he go to San Fran as the pass game coordinator with the young Shanahan. Now he learned the new Shanahan system and get a little bit of both, get to put his own offense together. Now he running his own version of it in Seattle, and it's one of the most explosive offenses in the league, if you ask me. So just being around him in Denver for, I think, 2 years I was around him, you could feel the leadership, bro. He's a real football guy. He know everybody in the building. He bring that same energy every day. He's just a great football mind, a great guy to be around in the building. Then you send him to Vegas, he got his workhorse running back. He got a premier tight end. He got his quarterback. His quarterback going to be able to handle anything you throw at him. A older veteran type of guy, a veteran type of rookie coming in, you know what I'm saying? Already graduated. He been straight football for a year or so.
Yeah.
So he'll be able to handle anything that you throw at him, man. The offense that he going to bring over there. And the best thing about it, he got a young group of receivers too. You sleep on them Raiders receivers. Them a young group of guys. Fast ass 6'4" guy. 6'5". He 4'2", 6'5". Like he got a good group where he need to maybe put a number one receiver with him, clean up that O-line a little bit. He got $90 million to do so.
Yep.
So he gon' clean up that offense, man. And I'm telling you, the Raiders will not be damn dead last or second to last or whatever they was in running the football. I guarantee you that. And they will be a top offense. He got to do some work, the D coordinator and so on. But that Raiders offense, they going to be legit. I promise you that.
Cody, you're the offensive
guy. Yeah, I gave
it
it an A also. I really like this hire. I think this was a huge win for the Raiders. I know, Klint Kubiak's never been a head coach before, but I'm with Aqib. When your dad's Gary Kubiak, who won a Super Bowl with these two guys right here, also was a head coach for 10 years and then spent 10 years under Mike Shanahan as an offensive coordinator, the OG of the Shanahan tree. I promise you he's sharing all that information with Klint Kubiak and teaching him what it takes to be successful in the NFL, and we're seeing that right now in real time. Now, this is his third stint as an offensive coordinator. The first two times with the Vikings and the Saints weren't great, but now he takes over in Seattle, and he's quickly becoming one of the best offensive minds in all of football. Seattle this year in the regular season, 8th in total offense and 3rd in scoring offense. A big reason for that was because of Klint Kubiak's play calling. Now, I know that play calling is a lot different than leading a football team. We always talk about that. Some guys are great offensive coordinators. They don't translate to becoming great head coaches. We don't know that yet, but what makes me feel really confident about this hire is that Klint Kubiak spent last season with Mike Macdonald. Mike Macdonald took over for the Seahawks at 36 years old, and all he's done since then is win 26 games, go 15-2 on the road, win the division, and now he has his team in the Super Bowl in his first 2 seasons. I guarantee you he has learned a lot from Mike Macdonald during that time on what it takes to be a young, successful head coach. Now, you could argue that the Raiders situation is a lot different than the Seahawks situation. I understand that, but I promise you he's taken those notes that he learned from Macdonald and applying that to building a culture and a foundation with the Raiders. The other reason I like it, from what Aqib said, is the Raiders, even though they had a terrible year this year, it was bad by really every category, they have a lot of optimism going into this offseason. They just hired, in my opinion, the best coach of this cycle, maybe outside of Harbaugh. They also have their potential franchise quarterback with the number 1 overall pick if they decide to take Fernando Mendoza. They have some key players on that roster with Bowers, with Jeanty, Max Crosby. You'll see what they do with him. But they've also got almost $100 million to spend, which is second in the NFL in cap space. Now, they need to. John Spytek needs to use that money towards the offensive line where everything we're saying is irrelevant, but I think he will, and they'll go get some pieces up front. But they also have Tom Brady in the building, too, that can teach them how to build an organization, how to win games, and the do's and don'ts to build a successful franchise. So, yeah, I like it a lot. I know it's always a risk with these first-time head coaches, but there is a lot to like about Klint Kubiak, and I'm excited for the Kubiak era in Las Vegas.
Yeah, I like the hire. I like the hire. I can't give it an A. Just because I'm a track record guy, man, and he's been doing it for a very short time. He had a great year this season with the Seahawks and under Macdonald, but let's look at their roster. It's loaded. is loaded. They got JSN, they got Walker, first-round pick, come in, and Sam Darnold, proven quarterback, just did it with the Vikings. It's like, okay, great. What can you do with a roster that's not loaded? We've seen what happened in New Orleans. Wasn't great. They were pretty much bottom of every category in passing and in offense. Now, they had some injuries. Olave was hurt. Rashid was hurt a little bit, but that goes back to what does your offense produce? How do they produce without the big-name guys all the time? Are you still at least middle of the pack in some of these categories without your big-name guys, right? We look at Minnesota, same type of situation, middle of the pack offense, okay rushing. It just wasn't screaming like it was in Seattle. Now, Oakland, he's going to have the benefit of being able to select a lot of the guys as he wants with all that cap room, right? $90 million. You get to go pick who you want and build this team really in the image of what you want them to be. So I'm excited to see that. I think he has great potential, but like you said, he's still kind of young. He hasn't been a head coach, which I'm not knocking at all, but I need to see more production in what you're doing year in and year out. 1 year is great. That's amazing. Now, you can do that potentially next year with a loaded roster again, but what are you going to do when some of those guys get hurt? What are you going to do to have a consistent track record? When you look at Todd Monken, the reason I gave him an A in Cleveland, he had done it everywhere he was. Even when he wasn't play calling, he was coordinating or he was, pass game coordinator, but those offense, whoever was in place in those positions, they were top of the league, top of college football, top in everything he did. Yeah. So I just need to see more time, but I still give him a B. I think, like Lee said, he comes from a great tree. He has it installed in him, and, we'll see.
And to your point, Monken has some damn good rosters, too. He has some damn good rosters, too.
Well, at Georgia,
Georgia, yeah, for sure.
He has some damn good rosters.
But he also has some not so good rosters.
And it takes time. Sometimes he's going to learn stuff from the Saints, the Vikings, and now he's applying that with the Seahawks. I can't deny they have a great roster. That's obviously true, and you're not going to have that roster in Las Vegas, at least maybe for the first couple of years. But biggest question in the NFL is, what have you done for me lately? And lately, he's had a top offense.
Absolutely.
I think that was a big reason he got hired.
Then Minnesota, Kube was the quarterback, the OC. But he was the quarterback coach, and they was cooking. They was probably like fifth in the league offense. They was clocking, you know what I'm saying? I think the year before he was the OC.
He was quarterback,
Yeah, he was the quarterback coach. Yeah, he was the quarterback coach there, you know what I'm saying? They was clocking, so that's on his resume too, to me, shit.
I'm with TJ on this. I can't go higher than a B because there's too much X factor. There's too much unknown. There's too much you can't know, we can't know. Nobody can really know how he will be as the leader of a franchise. You can't teach it. You can't be born with it. You just have to have it. Your father can't bring it out of you genetically somehow.
He can give it to you genetically, though.
Okay, I get that, but I've seen a lot of sons who just weren't their father. They just couldn't live up, measure up. I do respect your eye test to people, and you believe in him, so that makes me want to believe in him. I just don't know, because I've seen so many swings and misses on first-time offensive head coaches just because they coordinated. And then all of a sudden, they're on the sideline with the headset on, and they just get lost, and they can't do both effectively. It sort of dilutes both sides, where they can't coordinate as well, they can't call plays as well, and they can't manage the whole game as well because they've never done it before.
Okay, so real quick, Skip.
All right.
Liam Cohen, Ben Johnson, Sean McVay, Matt LaFleur, Kyle Shanahan. Them five who did great at what you just said right now. First time young head coaches, offensive guys, flourished immediately.
Jonathan Gannon, Brian Callahan, Gerard Mayo, Matt Eberflus, Brandon Staley, Nathaniel Hackett, Matt Nagy, Joe Judge, David Culley, Adam Gase, Freddie Kitchens, Ben McAdoo. I could keep going on for the rest of the show. They're all swings and misses from nowhere. Like you try it and it just didn't work.
See, but everybody I named,
okay, you're
from that
right.
same tree, though.
Okay, I got it.
You see the
But you know what?
common denominator. They all from this.
They all inherited a lot. They always inherited a lot too.
Yeah.
Number 1 overall draft pick, system with the Niners, Green Bay, first Jordan Love. You inherited a lot too.
Yeah. I'm
Liam
giving
Cohen, though, inherited
Liam Cohen had number 1 overall.
Yeah.
McVay inherited a bad team. You feel me?
Yeah. No, you're right.
Ben Johnson.
Skip's point.
Ben Johnson got another one pick. That was a bad
It's a
team.
risk.
I think it was a bad coach more than a bad
But
team.
that's with any coach, I think.
And I just named 5. Skip is probably
Okay.
more. I just did off the top of my head. You did your research.
I'll go B on tree because I love the tree. I love his father, and you know his father, and you won with his father.
Yeah.
Sure.
I love that. And I give you that. And then I look at his bloodlines through the whole tree, and he's the oldest of 3 boys, and Clay is the offensive coordinator now under Kyle. That means he's just observing. He's not calling plays, he's not doing much, but he's
You got to do first, though.
all right. And then Klein is a scout. The youngest is a scout for the Dallas Cowboys. So he's coming up. Who knows what's going to happen. But the Raiders, it looks good. I'm just going to say this again about Ashton Jeanty. I didn't see what you kept seeing in him. I'm just not sure about him. I'm not sure.
You a stats guy, though, Skip, so how?
What's that? How?
Yeah, you a stats guy. I mean, look.
Okay. All right. But I
Just
know
look at the final numbers.
I'm really, in the end, I'm an eye test guy. I'm just watching on TV. I didn't see explosive. I didn't see what you saw where I see all-time, I see potential Hall of Famer, I see perennial Pro Bowler.
Yeah.
I just didn't see it. I saw a
But
lot
did
of.
you also see his offensive line?
Yeah, and that was the big
Maybe.
thing is they're missing up.
But just read the final numbers for us, Kenzie.
I know. Because 975, finishing with 975 yards in your
And
rookie
getting
year
hit
with,
behind the line of
with,
scrimmage most of the time.
with
That
that
offensive
offensive
line.
line.
How many touchdowns?
Because I
Kenzie?
agreed with you. I didn't see it, and then when I looked at it and I
How
looked
many
at that
touchdowns
offensive
he
line,
had total?
5.
That's just rushing or that's total?
Man, look,
Total.
I've
So he had
seen
double
some
digits.
runs from Jeanty last year where he was just running through safeties and linebackers like they didn't want to hit him.
Like,
Powerful.
had to, because
now, it
he was
wasn't
getting
too many
hit behind the
because he
line.
couldn't get to the second level because
Yeah.
they was on his ass. But man, like
But you know what can help unlock that, though, Skip, is a guy like Klint Kubiak.
Sure, I
With
got
those
that.
outside zones,
I know.
those reach blocks, creative
Creative.
space like he did
Yep.
with Kenneth Walker and Charbonnet.
Right.
That's what can help unlock
screens.
Ashton Jeanty. That's why
Yep.
he comes in the pass game as well, those extended handoffs. Because if you watch the tape last year, he was getting hit behind the line consistently. That offensive line couldn't A block, they couldn't B block, they couldn't reach
Yeah.
block, they couldn't get in space. Chip Kelly was trying everything. I didn't love his
That'd be
scheme,
hard for
but
anybody.
nothing was working. And he was getting hit time after time behind the
goes back
line.
to the
It's
system.
tough to really see flashes when that happens.
when you're in a system that is known to be successful, how much is it of that system, play action, zone reads, of that than it is actual coaching? You know what I'm saying? Like, if I have a system, a cookie cutter system that is known to be successful from 1980 to
Right.
2025, you just got to come in and do this and do that. Now, what of your spin of actual coaching relating to players?
You got to know how to
game
run that
planning?
system, though.
Yeah, I'm just asking.
It's been
I'm not-
coaches, it's
I'm
been
not,
coaches under that tree who's went and failed, like the Titans.
Exactly.
Trash.
So what
They
makes
ain't know how to run that system.
What is the difference?
I think
in
the
that?
biggest thing
You
is
feel me?
there's an art to play calling. You've always got to have a plan in place, and sometimes you're going to get punched in the mouth and it's not going to work. I could walk into a game and have my first 15, and 12 of those 15 could be terrible.
Yeah.
I immediately know I got to cross all those off my list when I go in at halftime. Let's come up with new 12 plays to start our second 15 in the second half and make adjustments. I also could come out and say it's 1st and 10. Good coaches know I'm ready for a 2nd and long, a 2nd and medium, a 2nd and short, an explosive play, a shot play at the 40. We might get a big play down in the red zone. It's just playing ahead of time and being, always one step ahead of the defense is when, because I could give all of us the same scheme, the same system,
Exactly.
and just pick buttons, say, hey, you pick this play, you pick that play, you pick that play. It's the way that you call it is the biggest factor why we see some of these
Exactly.
guys successful.
By the way, I've never understood first 15
Yeah.
because it's all situational. What if
It is.
it's
Based off the game plan.
Yeah,
Second
but
one.
so first
Go
15,
ahead.
I want to see how are they going to react if we come line up in slot?
Yeah.
How are they going to react to this motion?
Yeah.
Okay,
How
I
are they going to react
understand
to our
that,
empty? So
but,
you
but,
just really
but
just,
what if it's 2nd and short?
Then you go
gotta-
away from it. So the
Yeah,
first 15,
okay,
well,
yeah, yeah.
no, 2nd and short, you can get away from it, but really the base game plan is 1st and 2nd down. So your
Yeah.
first 15
Yeah.
are, and like Aqib said, you're going to get some 12 personnel. Let's get some 21 personnel. Let's get some 11, some
Yeah.
13. Let's try different things, see how they're going to react. The
Just
first 15 is really, all right, these first 2 plays of the drive are 1 and 2. If we get to 3rd down, we go from the first 15 to our 3rd
number
and
nine.
4th.
And it's
Okay.
based off
Yeah,
of the
or we
defense
come out the next series.
characteristics.
You don't got to necessarily do them in order.
Yeah. All right.
We
Hey,
need
we're
to
ju-
run these 15 plays to
Yeah.
see how they going to adjust to what we doing. After that, now we know, all right, we getting slot. They
Yeah.
going to come slide over.
Okay.
And we can run this play.
See if what
right.
they've done in the past, their characteristics match what they're
Exactly.
going to do with you today.
Exactly.
All right.
And things that I hate too about sometimes with play callers is they'll run something on the first 15 that's successful and they never go back to it. I love when, and you can run it in different formations, but when you use that first 15, those are the plays at least on Wednesday's practice and on Saturday walkthroughs, that you run the most, knowing that I can call these in crucial situations at any point in time during the game, and we can go be successful with our eyes closed. You got to use those and filter them in throughout the game, and then you jump to the third down red zone. So it's all games within a game, Skip. That's a good question, man. It's
all right.
How you use those first 15 is important.
TJ touched on this, but Klint did coordinate the previous year at New Orleans, and it didn't go well.
Yeah.
They were 24th in points scored, and they start off, and Derek
Just
Carr
very
played the first 10 games. Okay, so you had a pretty good quarterback, pretty good run game. Ooh. They came to Dallas, just ran Dallas off the field. Of course, Micah Parsons was playing. That's a whole other issue. We won't get started on it. But the point was, I saw flashes, and then by the end of the year, they had to go to Spencer Rattler. I got it. But it wasn't all that impressive. And then he winds up, Mike McDonald takes him to Seattle, and the rest is history. So did he suddenly turn into a genius under Mike McDonald with JSN and Sam Darnold? I don't know.
Right.
But the point is, there's still some X factor here, and then there's an X factor in Las Vegas, and his name is Tom Brady.
Yep.
And I got to tell you, the more I read and the more I talk to people, Tom is hands-on. So
that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Well, is it
100%.
for Klint Kubiak? Well, listen.
Yeah.
After every game, I'm not saying Tom was wearing the headset during one Monday night game, so at least he's listening to the play calls, and I can guarantee you that after every game, he's going to want to have a chalk talk session with Klint about why did you call this and why didn't you call that, because he's Tom Brady, right? So
It's a good thing.
Yeah, but wouldn't you want an extra set of hands like Tom Brady?
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying?
unless he drives you crazy.
Because then you could be like, this didn't work. Let's.
What would you do,
Yeah.
Tom? Like, well, usually in these situations, we did move like this.
And he's gonna need some help developing Mendoza. Like, you got a young quarterback coming in.
Exactly.
He's blessed in his own right. You know, before he even steps foot on NFL field, you see how much he studies, and he ain't got no girlfriend. He just locked in 100%.
Yeah.
I don't know if the internet's trying to change that.
Balls on balls.
All the time. Yes. But are you saying that it's a negative thing having Tom Brady
I mean,
in the building?
Listen, Tom is psycho-competitive,
Yeah.
and he might decide after 3 games, I don't like the way he's calling the game. I'm going to tell him it's got to be this way. And Klint might freak out saying, my father says, because his father's going to be his biggest advisor.
My mama said.
My father says we should do it this way, Tom. Well, what are you going to say? Tom's never called plays before, right?
Tom go say, fuck it.
I think you be putting a little extra on what Tom do. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think so, honestly.
Is Tom still going to be calling games next year?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to be a little.
Hope so. He's gotten better. I will say.
I like Tom on
He's got a lot
the
better
booth.
this year, too.
I do,
Skip. know it's
too. I
off
like
topic,
him on the
but
booth.
I like him
Tom's
better than some of them other
Really?
guys.
I really enjoy him. He adds an extra explanation to
the
certain
last thing,
things,
too,
and I'm
back
like,
to your what makes a good play caller point that I got to add is knowing the tendencies of a defense. If I get to this down and distance on the field, I know there's a high percentage chance they're going to run cover 4, so I'm going to run my cover 4 beaters. If they don't give us that, then I'll check maybe to a run, or I'll get to a different play call based off of the defense and then work with that. I think Klint Kubiak does a great job of that, because you see Sam Darnold and that Shanahan tree, they always walk up with 2, maybe 3 play calls at once at the line of scrimmage. If it's 2 high, check to this. If it's 1 high, check to this. If it's all out cover 0, here are my 0 beaters as well. So they always have a plan, and Kubiak, in my opinion, fits in that mold, and that's why he's been successful this year.
And I think it was Robert Saleh who said it, like Liam Cohen and Sean, they always get to the telling you, because they got that little, it's a little nuance in that system that other people don't know.
Yeah.
I think other people just too proud to say, yo, this is the best shit. Like,
I mean,
it has always been from the Houston Texans to the Denver Broncos.
It's something
to
in that system. I'm
whoever
telling you.
runs it, it's
They
going
do
to be
with your
productive. Hey,
signs,
look,
or
run,
know what you
pass,
in.
play action.
They
Just
like-
get it together. You just don't mess it
They
up.
like guessing what you win.
Yeah.
They do something and they know what you win, and they get to the perfect play. And you heard a defensive coordinator, a respected defensive coordinator, what he say? He said it right. He kind of tried to tell on them, so to speak. Like they always know we try not to do our signs because they still our signs. And I'm telling you, it's something.
That's why Saleh and
Saleh talking about
Yeah, he's talking about Liam Cohen.
Okay. Yeah.
And Liam Cohen come from that tree. Sean, he always in the perfect play. Shanahan always in the perfect play. I'm telling you, it's
Man,
they make you communicate
it don't even
different
matter
on
what you're
defense.
running on
Yeah.
defense, bro.
They
You get them
dictate-
linemen to reach.
They dictate what you're going to
Find
do on
the
defense
crease.
instead of you dictating what
Yeah,
they're going to do.
exactly.
And if you try to
Find the
dictate what
crease.
they're going to do, boom, watch this check then, and we're going to go.
You got a good back. We're
We're going to force you into these coverages by our formation and alignments and all these different things. And if you don't get to that coverage, then we'll check off of that and make a big play.
If you got a back that can read block,
science,
you're going to be
It is a
successful.
science to it.
Well, the boys are split. Okay, we've
Wait a
got.
second.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Aqib said Friday he's leaning Patriots in this game after you just anointed Klint. So how could you not pick Seattle, right? Well, I'm just saying. I don't
The
know.
OC can't be on the field,
Right?
unfortunately.
I'm just. What they got to do with my pick?
It has a lot to do.
I like Klint as
I mean,
the
you
OC.
give Klint an A+, but you're picking
man.
New England.
Shit, I think Klint gonna do his thing. He gonna get 28.
Is he?
That's his job. Give me.
Yeah.
Give
You get 28, they're going to win that.
Hey,
Well, Brady better hope he doesn't suck in this game, right? That Klint doesn't just lay an egg in this game. That'd look bad for the Raiders, right?
Hey, the pressure be on, no?
I know. That's for everybody.
Tight. You be tight. I'm a head coach. I'm leaving. It's my last game. It'd be pressure. So, same with Sam Darnold. Klint only is going to be as good as Sam Darnold.
You don't think Klint might be a little distracted this
And
week
Walker.
as he's starting to put his staff
Walker got to
together?
go for a Hyundai.
Of course he is.
Yeah.
Could be, yeah.
Walker got to
Very.
go for a Hyundai.
But he's also got to be selfish in this situation and do what's best for him and his family. He obviously wants to win this game, but there's a future he's got to worry about as well. So
Exactly.
there's two parts to it.
But winning,
But this legacy,
winning a
though,
Super Bowl as
you
a
wanna
coach,
win-
though,
you wanna
kind of
win
adds
this.
to
It is
your family.
that's true. That's true. I agree with that. Winning a Super Bowl is huge.
And I just
Yeah,
said I'm
for your
leaning.
legacy.
I'm leaning.
And-
Skip, I ain't picked the Patriots.
No, it's just funny.
I'm just leaning.
like Klint.
We haven't got
God's
picks
gift to
yet,
coaching,
though.
Feel me?
We haven't gotten picks yet.
I'm going back and forth with it.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, well, the boys are split. We got A's and B's, but that's pretty close. And the chat is majority of you guys have an A, but right behind is a B, so they're agreeing with the boys. Now let's get to the next coaching job.